Now in this second chapter of electrostatics, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance, we have discussed about line integral of electric field, then electric potential difference, electric potential due to a single point charge. Now we will proceed for the electric potential due to a group of point charges. Student, up to previous lectures, we have seen if you are having the single charge, okay, you can see that is a source charge, and if you want to see the potential or if you want to calculate the potential in the field of that source charge, then you can get that electric potential by V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R, where R is the distance at which you have to find the electric potential. Now suppose instead of single charge, if you are given a number of charges, then in that number of charges, for example here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 up to Qn, these are the charges are given, and you want to find the electrostatic potential at a point. Suppose this is the point P at which you have to find the electric potential, where you have placed the charge of 1 coulomb. So you have to calculate the electric potential due to and discharges, that is Q1, Q2 up to Qn. That means electric potential due to Q1 at point this P, electric potential at point Q2 due to Q2 at point P, electric potential due to Q3 at point P, and so on. So therefore the total potential in this particular system, you will get V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 plus V5. This is the expression. You will get the sum of all the potentials due to a isolated, you can say, the single charges to that particular point. So you will get from this equation, you know that suppose I want to calculate V1 here. So how you will calculate V1? V1 means what? Potential due to charge Q1 at point P. So I will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R1, where R1 you can see it's a position vector, okay, or R1 is the distance from that particular point. So similarly you get V2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 upon R2. In the same way, Vn is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Qn upon Rn. So I can write in this summation form, potential V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation over I is equal to 1 to n Qi upon Ri. So and this vector form you can write here, V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation over I is equal to 1 to n Qi upon R minus Ri. You can write this in terms of the position vector. So from this one you can say that we have calculated the electric field. In case of this Coulomb's law, electric field is inversely proportional to R square, or force is inversely proportional to R square. You have got the relation that E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. On the other hand, you will get the, in case of the potential, we have seen the derivation, that is V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. That means V is inversely proportional to R. Okay, so potential is a scalar quantity, whereas force is a vector quantity. So all this we have calculated electric potential at a point due to a group of charges. Now we will proceed for electric potential due to electric dipole. Already the dipole concept we have learned, that is two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. Sorry, these two are the charges, okay, and 2L is the distance. So this forms a dipole, electric dipole, you can say. Now we have to calculate the electric potential. Already we have calculated the electric field. Now we will proceed for the electric potential at point P. So electric potential at point P, where you can keep your test charge also, or you can keep your charge of 1 coulomb also. That means unit test charge, you can say. So the electric potential due to this charge minus Q at point P, which is at a distance from the center of the dipole, is x. Okay, this is the center of the dipole, therefore this length is L, AO is equal to L and OB is equal to L, and from this from the midpoint of this dipole, the point P is located at a distance x. So potential due to this negative charge is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus Q upon x plus L. Now as you know, V is inversely proportional to R, therefore you have to put the value of only x plus L, that is this x plus L, that is the distance from this charge. Similarly, due to this positive charge, you can write 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon x minus L. Very simple one. So the potential at this point P, due to these two charges, it will be V1 plus V2 or V plus Q due to the potential of charge plus Q and due to the potential of minus Q, sum of these two one. So you will get the resultant by putting the value of this V due to the potential due to the charge, positive charge, and potential due to the negative charge. You will get the final equation and putting the value of dipole moment P is equal to dipole moment you will get here P into Q into twice L. That you will get the dipole moment. Putting the value here in this equation, you will get the final equation of the potential due to this at a point P due to this dipole is given by Vp is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon x square plus L square. This is the final equation. Now we will proceed for the electric potential. Remember, I am telling about the electric potential. Now the electric potential on an equatorial line. Already we have seen the equatorial lines concept. Equatorial line means suppose you are having this dipole, this system dipole, then the bisector of this one is called as an equatorial line. So on this equatorial line, we have to take any point. Suppose I have taken the point Q, and at that point Q, I will locate a test charge, or you can say a unit charge, and at that particular point, I will find the electric potential due to this, you can say, dipole. Okay. Now very simple one. Once again you apply the electric potential due to the negative charge at this point and electric potential due to this positive charge at this point where the distances are same. So you will get the electric potential due to a positive charge 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon bq. Here bq is the distance. So you will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon bq. Similarly, for the due to the negative charge, you will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus q upon aq. This is the distance. These two distances are equal. Okay. Now, what is the electric potential at this point? The sum of the two potential. So after adding these two and putting the value of these two, you will get that potential at point Q. That means if you choose any point on the equatorial line, then on that particular point you will get the potential is equal to 0. Now you see, dear friends, here it is very interesting to know that in case of electric field lines, and if you want to electric field strength at an equatorial line, then you got the relation for that one. That means at an equatorial point the electric field strength was not equal to 0, but here the potential is 0. So you can think about this you can say derivation or over this theoretical concept, that why if the electric field lines are present there but the potential is not present there, that means the potential is 0. No doubt you will go through this derivation, but let us think about that one in a theoretical point of view. Exactly what happens there even though the electric fields are present there but the electric potential is not present. So you can go through this one. Now the next one, equipotential surface. Now what is equipotential surface? The name itself indicates equipotential. That means if you are having the equal potential at each and every point, then you can say that is called as the equipotential surface. The surface at every point of which the potential due to a charge distribution is same. Now for example, if I will take this electric field lines which is called as the uniform electric field lines. Now in this electric field lines you make these three planes and you can calculate the potential at this particular point over here and over here. You will find that the potential will be same here. So you can say these planes are called as an plane of equipotential surface. Now spherical equipotential surface. How you have got the spherical equipotential surface? For an isolated charge. Now see here, for the equipotential surface, already you know that here, suppose if you take a charge, positive charge, okay, then the electric field lines which are coming, or electric field lines of an isolated charge is given by, which is radially outward, like this you will get. Now you have calculated the electric field due to this charge at any point. Suppose I will take point P here, then you will get electric field is inversely proportional to R square. Now if you calculate the potential at point P, then you will get V is inversely proportional to R. that is V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Suppose R is this is the distance. Now similarly at the same distance R, again if you calculate at this point P or Q, you can say at point Q, you will get the same potential. Here also you will get same potential. Here also you will get same potential, which are same distance R from this charge. So when you will join this all these points, then you can say that time you will get all these points are at equipotential. So ultimately you will get, if you will take this type of circle of radius R, same radius, or you can say this type of circle of same radius, then this is called as an equipotential surface. So here you can say this is the equipotential surfaces. This blue lines indicates the equipotential surface for an isolated charge. I think you might have understood this one. Next one, properties of equipotential surface. No work is done in moving test charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface. Now, why it is so? Suppose if you take any surface, and on that surface, if the work done, if it is equipotential, so you can see here that is nothing but your VA minus VB. That is VA is equal to VB. VA is equal to VB. Because why? Because you are saying that they are at equipotential surface. So equipotential surface means where the potentials are same. Therefore, this VA is equal to VB, then ultimately this factor becomes 0. If this becomes 0, so ultimately you can say that work done to move a charge from one point to another point, that is from A to B, is equal to 0. Therefore, we can say that no work is done in moving a test charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface. Now, I think you have got this concept also, because the potentials are same. Therefore, VB minus VA, that is nothing but the difference of this potential, and these potentials are equal. So, you can say the net will be 0 and work done will be 0. The electric field is always perpendicular to the element dl of the equipotential surface. Now, you see here, since no work is done on equipotential surface, just now we have seen here. So, work done to move a charge from one point to another point, that is from A to B, E dot dl is equal to 0, or you can say E dl cos theta is equal to 0. Ultimately, you can say electric field will not be equal to 0 and element will not be equal to 0. So, the remaining factor cos theta will be equal to 0. So, you can say theta is equal to 90 degree. That means electric fields are always perpendicular. For example, if you take any body like this, and if here the electric field lines, if you draw from these charges, then it will be always perpendicular, making an angle 90 degree with the surface like this. So, I hope you have understood this concept also. Now, equipotential surface indicates the region of strong and weak electric field lines. This is something new for you, but you have seen the diagram about that one. For the isolated point charge, may be a positive or maybe a negative charge. So, suppose now the electric field is given by this equation. Electric field is given by the equation E is equal to minus dV by dr, where dV by dr is nothing but the negative potential gradient. Okay, or you can represent that equation dr is equal to minus dV upon E. Now, you see here, since in case of equipotential surface, dV is equal to constant. So, you can say that dr is inversely proportional to E. Now, dr is means what? Dr is nothing but a small distance between these 2 points. So, ultimately you can say these are inversely proportional to E. So, electric field is strong. For example, if you draw for this positive charge and electric field lines like this, so this region where dr is very small, then electric field will be very strong, and this region here the distance between this is very large, you can say. So, you can say that here the electric field is weak. So, this is about this point. Two equipotential surfaces cannot intersect. Same concept about the electric field lines also. We have mentioned that electric field lines never cross each other, because at that particular point you will get the two directions. Similar here, if two equipotential surfaces intersect, then at the point of intersection there will be two values of electric potential, and two values of electric potential at one particular point, it is not possible. So, you can say that two equipotential surfaces cannot intersect. Now, the main concept about the electrostatic potential energy. What is meant by electrostatic potential energy? So, here first of all we will calculate the electric potential energy due to a two charge system. Okay, now electric potential due to a single charge you have calculated, and that you will get, that you have got V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. This you got the relation for the potential due to a single charge. Okay, now if I take a single charge here, now let me explain you these things. If I take a single charge, you can say this positive charge, or you can say Q1 here. Now initially the charge Q1 I have considered here. If I will not consider this charge, अगर मैंने चार्ज को कंसिडर नहीं किया तो वहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रेजेंट ही नहीं होगी, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रेजेंट होने के लिए वहाँ पे आपके पास एक चार्ज होना ज़रूरी है, जो चार्ज अपने आप इस उसके सराउंडिंग में यहाँ पे अपनी फील्ड दिखाएगा। तो अगर चार्ज आपने कंसिडर नहीं किया तो वहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड भी नहीं होगी, और इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड नहीं होगी तो उस इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड में अगर आपको किसी चार्ज को लाना है तो वहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिक पोटेंशियल भी नहीं होगा। तो इसलिए सबसे पहले मेरा काम बनता है कि वहाँ पे मैं एक चार्ज कंसिडर करता हूँ। लेट अस कंसिडर दिस चार्ज Q1 इनिशियली। सो आई हैव नॉट ब्रॉट दिस चार्ज फ्रॉम इन्फिनिटी, आई हैव जस्ट कंसिडर हियर। नाउ व्हाट इज द यू कैन से वर्क डन हियर और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी? इलेक्ट्रिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी नथिंग बट द, इफ यू ब्रॉट a unit positive charge from infinity to that particular point, suppose point P is here, in the range of this source charge, जो सोर्स चार्ज की यहाँ पे अपने आप उसने जो फील्ड बनाई है, इस फील्ड में अगर आप किसी पॉइंट को इन्फिनिटी से लाते हैं एट अ डिस्टेंस r, then you can calculate here that work done is stored as a electric potential energy, or you can say here the electric potential. Now electric potential that you have got V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. This is the electric potential at this particular point. Okay, now what I will do now, I will take another charge now. Suppose this Q1 is already present here, Q1 is present here. Now in its field I will brought charge Q2 at this point Q2 from infinity to this particular point. Now no doubt I have to do the work done. So I can write here the formula here. In first case work done was 0. I can say W1 is equal to 0 in that case, because initially I have considered the charge itself. I have not done any work done. I have not brought that charge from infinity, etc., etc. Okay, directly I have taken the charge here Q1. Now if the charge you have considered here, then no doubt this charge is having its electric field in its surrounding. In that particular surrounding, now I am bringing the charge Q2 from infinity. So at this particular point, suppose at this particular point P, what is the potential due to this Q1? The potential is V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R. This distance is suppose R. Now if you brought this charge Q2 here, then you have done the work done to bring from infinity to the point P, and you know the formula, work done is equal to Q into V, that means charge into potential. Now this is very important. In this mathematical form very easily you can write, but now you have to learn, or you have to think, what is this charge and what is this potential? That means which potential you have to take and which charge you have to take. Now remember student, this Q is nothing but the charge which you are bringing from infinity to that particular point, and this potential is nothing but in which field this charge is going to be placed. So Q1 is the charge whose potential at this point is V. So ultimately you will get this equation will be, this equation you can write here. So I can write this equation as, this is Q1, you have brought Q2 from infinity. Okay, so I can write work done is equal to net work done. You can see here W1 was equal to 0. Now you are going to do W2. So W2 is equal to Q1 into V1, sorry, Q2 into V1. So I can write here V1 was here. V1 is the potential due to this Q1 at this point, at this point which is at a distance r. So you will get here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 upon r into this q2. So ultimate adding this work done w1 plus w2, net work done will be w1 plus w2 is equal to, you will get net work done which is equal to, that is this one, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r, where r is the distance between these two charges. So that is the net work done. This work done is stored as a potential energy U. So friends, I think now you have got this formula, that is U is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r12. No doubt r12 is the distance between the two charges. Okay. So due to single charge you have calculated the electric potential. Now the electrostatic potential energy, that means you have done the work done, and that work done is stored as a potential energy due to the two charge system. Similarly, you can proceed for the 3 charge system. Okay, or you can, here you can take the 3 charge system. Now see, whenever you are taking consider the number of charges, suppose you take 3 charges, 4 charges, etc., then what you have to do here? The important thing is that, now let me explain, due to these charges, due to, suppose you are having this q1, this charge q2, you have calculated the potential due to these two charges which were at a distance of r12, suppose you can say. Now if you want to brought the charge q3 from infinity, so what you have to do here? You have to calculate the potential due to these two charges at this point q, at this point suppose, and q3 is the charge which you are bringing from infinity. Now first of all, you have to find the potential due to q1 at this point, which is at a distance of r13, and potential due to this q2 at this point, that is r23. Then you do the sum of all that. So means these two charges is having their potential at this point, and then you are bringing this charge from infinity to that point where you have to do the work done. So here, whenever you are going to calculate about the, you can say the potential due to a 3-point charges, then ultimately first you will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught common, or you can say here q1 q2 upon r12. This is nothing but the potential due to the charge q1 q2. Now here q3 q1 upon r31, that is nothing but the electric potential, taking the common as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, that is the potential due to charge q3, due to charge q1 at point q3. So you will get this one. Similarly, you will get the potential at point q3. So that you will get at a distance of r23. That means due to the q2 charge, you will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q2 q3 upon r32, and sum of this all you will get the total potential. So that is nothing but the total electric potential due to the 3 charges. Okay, so electrostatic potential energy of the 3 charges of the system, you will get U is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into bracket q1 q2 upon r12 plus q2 q3 upon r32 plus q1 q3 upon r31, etc. So these are the things we have discussed in this particular session. So dear friends, remember here the concept of what you have learned about the electric potential due to a single charge, that is nothing but V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R, that is V is inversely proportional to R. In case of electric field lines, we have studied that electric field lines E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square, where that electric field lines was inversely proportional to R. Now, in this case, if you are proceeding for the electric potential due to 2 charges, then here you have to consider first the electric potential energy due to that 2 charges is nothing but your charge q1 q2. So ultimately you will get, in that case, your total potential energy U is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r12. So here you have used the formula, this work done is equal to q into V. I explained to you this, what is about this work done q into V, which charge and which potential. So if you want to do the work done, then this charge is nothing but the charge which you are taking from infinity to that particular point of the source charge or we can say of that potential of that particular charge. V is the potential in which you are bringing this charge Q. Suppose Q1 is the charge whose potential is V and Q2 is the charge which you are bringing from infinity to that particular point. Then you will get the W is equal to, you can say, work done is equal to Q2 into V1. This is very important formula. How to write the suffix here, because so many students are getting confusing about this one. What should be the suffix there? Okay, potential, this is the charge which you are bringing from infinity, and potential in which the source charge where you are bringing the Q2. So you can see the potential you have calculated, that U is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 upon R12. Similarly, you have calculated the electrostatic potential energy of the three charge system. So U is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into bracket Q1 Q2 upon R12 plus Q1 Q3 upon R31 plus Q2 Q3 upon R32. So ultimately, for the n number of charges, you have written this type of equation. So these are the things related. Here I have, in this particular figure, you see, from I have taken the reference point here Q, or as a origin. From that origin, the charges, three charges I have considered here. One at point A, B, C. The three charges are Q1, Q2, Q3. Or directly also you can write there. You can pick the charge Q1, Q2, Q3. And if Q1, Q2, Q1 initially, then you brought Q2, then you brought Q3, or up to Qn. So ultimately you will get this final equation. So student, in this today's you can say lecture, we have discussed this point about the electrostatic potential energy due to the n number of charges. In the next lecture, we will study about the electric potential due to a electric dipole. Okay, so till that one, you go through this point, you refer to your textbook and try to clear your concept of this whatever the topic we have studied.